What's up, you guys? It's time to look back at what was with week one of the NFL season and give you my top five NFL teams. Yes, these are my power rankings after 1 week, which doesn't mean much. Again, it's 1 week. We're going to overreact and we're going to, think that some teams are Super Bowl worthy when they're really not, and some that are look like crap that turn it around and end up being Super Bowl contenders by the end of the season. So before we do the rankings, let's take a look at how we did with our predictions. Here we go. So Philly, I picked Philly to win, and I picked the spread to be close enough. This is going to be hard to kind of follow everything, so I'm just going to go by the winners. So Philly, I had them to win, got that right. Chiefs did not get that right, 1-1. Tampa Bay got that right, 2-1. Cincinnati, that's who I had, but they didn't cover, but I still picked Cincinnati, so I'm going to give myself that one. 3-1 so far. Indianapolis had them. They took care of business very, very convincingly. Where are we at? 4-1. Las Vegas had them. Yup, 5-1. Arizona, 6-1. Pittsburgh, I told you, I think the Steelers are legit. 7-1 so far. That's great. Oh my God. And then it goes bad. Giants, they shat the bed and looked horrible. Russell Wilson might be the backup soon. All right, where were we? 7-1, 7-2. Carolina, oh no. 7-3. Jacksonville got the job done there. Denver, 8-3, because Denver did take care of business. They didn't cover the 8.5 spread, which is what I actually thought here, but a win's a win. That's what we're doing. I mean, I technically got it right anyway. I lost track. All right, 7-1, 7-2, 7-3, 8-3. Seattle, dropped the ball, literally. 8-4 at this point. Detroit, oh no, that's laughable now. 8-5. Rams, yes. 9-5. Buffalo, yes. 10-5. Minnesota got the job done. 11-5. 11-5. That's not bad. That's pretty good for week one. So we will do this again for week two and see how we do then. But I'd say that's pretty good week one. I wish my actual bets that I really did put in would have reflected that, but I did not do well with my actual betting this week. Anyway, all right, moving on. Power rankings. So the way I rank teams, and y'all can call me old school, whatever you want, but I value defense a lot because I think defense wins championships. There's a reason that's a saying. History is the greatest teacher. To I think of mankind, and when I look at sports, I just think that there's a reason why when you look at certain statistics, they tend out to usually end up working out that way. So I really value teams that I look at and think to myself, that is a championship worthy defense. Obviously, especially in the NFL when it's just one game, anything can happen. Someone could catch fire, someone could fumble, someone could get a pass tipped, and that's the most crucial play of the game, and it goes the other way. So it doesn't always work out. But if you play the numbers and the stats and look at it closely, usually defense, if you have a steady and a great defense, that usually means that it's going to keep you in games and give you the best chance to win. So keep that in mind because in my power rankings, I really do value defense. So we'll start at number 5. My 5th best team in the NFL after 1 week, again, very small sample size, is Baltimore. It's the Ravens. I mean, the Ravens, I think, are Super Bowl contenders, but giving up 41 points to the Buffalo Bills, again, that's just the Buffalo Bills might be the best offense in the NFL. But if you're putting that kind of pressure on your own offense, which is great, Lamar is amazing, Derrick Henry's great, Zay Flowers is unbelievable. But if you're putting that kind of pressure where you're pretty much telling your offense, you're going to have to score 30-plus points in this game for us to have a chance to win, is very difficult because, like I said, maybe Lamar has a random fumble, like maybe Derrick Henry fumbles, and that's exactly what happened. And they end up losing because the defense, if they would have been an average defense that gave up 28 points, which even 28 points I think is a lot, they would have won this game 40-28. That almost is a blowout at that point. That's a 2-score game. But the defense, didn't do it. Didn't get the job done. So they're 5 on my list. Number 4 on my list is the LA Rams. I think that offense is great. I think they have a great defense as well. And honestly, they could be higher. But I think it was a really hard game to grade. They played Houston, and we don't really know what to expect from Houston. Houston, as far as everyone thinks, has a great defense. So if they have a great defense, then the Rams obviously not putting up that many points then kind of you have to take that into consideration, because I do think the Rams have a great offense. But obviously, if you're playing a Texans defense that apparently is top 5 in the league and people do think it's going to be really good, including myself, well, you put up 14 points against that good of a defense, that's not great, but maybe it's because of the defense, and you got to give the defense credit. But your defense only gave up 9 points against a Houston Texans offense that no one expects to be bad. No one thinks it's elite, but no one thinks it's bad. And again, if your defense only gives up 9 points, hey, there's not that much pressure. Your offense can have 2 touchdown drives and be awful the rest of the game, and you will win the game like they did, 14-9 against the Texans. So that's my number 4 in the power rankings. Number 3 in the power rankings is Buffalo. Yes, they won, and they're Super Bowl contenders. And why are they not number 1 or number 2 in my rankings? Well, defense. Again, it's just defense. They gave up 40 points. Look at everything Josh Allen had to do at the end of that game. They had to get lucky, essentially, that Derrick Henry fumbled to have a chance to win. And I mean, even one of the plays, one of the touchdown passes that Josh Allen had to Keon Coleman, the pass was tipped. It wasn't even going to Keon Coleman. It was tipped, and Keon Coleman randomly landed in his hands, and that kind of got them that touchdown that then, gave them some hope. If that's an incomplete pass, the game's over. Derrick Henry fumbled on first down. If he had a first down run, a second down run, and fumbled on third down, Buffalo might have not even had enough time to then set themselves up for the field goal at the end that won it. So they needed so many things to happen because their defense is not good. And again, it's week 1, and they have a lot of injuries in the secondary, and they're gonna try to fix that, but that's not sustainable. Josh Allen can be Superman, but from time to time. But if that is the expectation, I'm sorry, but again, a tip pass or a random interception or a fumble, and you're losing the game. Like, you have no margin for error if your defense gives up 40 points. And again, so that's why Buffalo's number 3. And again, it's 1 week. So those 2 defenses for Baltimore and Buffalo, maybe it's because they played each other, but if they play each other in the playoffs or in the AFC Championship game, it's going to come down to which defense makes a play. So it's up to the defense. All right, number 2. It pains me, but the Green Bay Packers look damn good. They really, really do. And you know why? Because their defense looks legit. Their defense looks so good. Last year, they already had promise. They were looking pretty damn good. Now they got Micah Parsons. He didn't even start and play the whole game. And they looked good. And again, it's week 1, so maybe it's that the Lions now look like complete booty. But I don't think so. I think the Lions still have a lot of playmakers. And if you watch the game, I mean, they got penetration in the backfield. They stopped the run. Jahmyr Gibbs, I think he had 30 yards rushing. And the Lions had 6 points in the third quarter. Same Lions team from last year that was so explosive offensively. And they still have the same head coach. Yes, Ben Johnson is gone and moved on to Chicago, but that's drastic. And if Jordan Love, I don't really trust him like that. But if your defense is good enough that it's going to only give up 6 points to the Lions in the third quarter, ultimately 13 points total, I trust Jordan Love to get 2 touchdowns. Yes, I do. And that offense with Josh Jacobs, solid offensive line. The receivers, they don't have a stud receiver. I was very worried as a Vikings fan that Matthew Golden, would come out week 1 and just be like, yo, I'm here. But he still might. And if he's a stud receiver now, I mean, I don't know how they wouldn't be favorites. Anyway, I got the Packers at number 2. And the only reason they're number 2 is because the team I have number 1 is the Philadelphia Eagles, the defending Super Bowl champions. And you know what? People can clown them all they want, but they got the job done. They beat the Cowboys. Yes, the Cowboys beat themselves, but they got the win, 24-20. What scares me with the Eagles is that secondary is weaker. But I still think that their defense is comparable to what the Packers' defense is. And offensively, I trust the Eagles' offense with Saquon Barkley and their playmakers on the outside with Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown more than I trust Jordan Love and his offensive weapons. That's the only difference. But if this Philly defense keeps not playing elite, and the Packer defense does, I mean, by week 2, I might switch those around, because I do think that Philly's liability this year is their secondary. They lost several starters on that secondary, and you could see the Cowboys. I mean, CeeDee Lamb was having a day, and he had some drops. So if next week Philly's defense starts giving up, yardage to receivers again, that is going to be a worry. And I do think they're beatable. And if Green Bay keeps looking how they're looking, then, got to give them the respect, man. They do it right, don't they? They are never bad. So good for Packer fans. Again, Philly still got the job done, still got the win. We'll see how the season plays out, but that is my top 5 rankings after week 1. And we got some Thursday night football coming up tomorrow, so that's super exciting. And we will get to see that Packer team against Washington. And if they shut down Jaden Daniels and do a number on them like they did to Jared Goff and the Detroit Lions, I mean, it would be only 2 weeks in, but they might become your Super Bowl favorites like that. So I'll talk to you guys soon. We'll preview that game, and football's back.